For our normal shoulder, we would have slanted 1 inch down here and slanted, but that's not the style we'll be working for this tutorial. Hello everyone, and welcome to another tutorial on this channel. I will be sharing with you how to cut this trendy cape that you can see on the thumbnail. For this tutorial, we'll be measuring the typical shoulder to shoulder, which is around 14 inches. We'll need to measure at this point of the body, right? Like this. This is 17 inches, and so I'll be adding 1 inch on both sides. That's 2 inches, which is 19 inches. So the total cape width is going to be 19 inches. So it's going to be this wide. You can actually limit it to 18 inches, but for this tutorial I'll be working with 19. I'll be adding 1 inch, so instead of 17 inches from one side to one side, I'll be working with 18 inches. Note at this point that you can work with whichever measurement you want, depending on the kind of structure you want to create. My midpoint is going to be 9.5. The actual shoulder width is around 13.5, 14 inches. For this tutorial, I'll be using a different kind of paper to illustrate it, because this particular style you need a stiff fabric. If the fabric is not stiff enough, you can decide to put interfacing on your fabric to make it stand properly. Now this is regular brown paper. This is very flexible, very light, and for this tutorial I'll be using this stiffer packing paper just for the sake of the tutorial, so it can give me the effect I want, because I won't be cutting this on fabric. Let's proceed. The measurement I'll be working with is my mannequin's measurement. So I'll be using neck width of 7 inches, that is 3.5 on fold, and neck depth of 3 inches. For the back, I'll be using a neck depth of 1 inch. For this tutorial, I will be drafting the basic bodice block, just the neckline area and the shoulder area. For this particular style, I have already decided that at the pointy edge of the shoulder, I'll be working with 1 inch extension. So I'll just mark 1.5 inch for allowance. And connect with a straight ruler. So this here will be my starting point. From this point now, I'll mark my round neckline. Remember, I'm using my mannequin's measurement. So my neck depth, like I said, is 3 inches, and the neck width is 7 inches. On fold is 3.5 inches. So I'll connect with a curved ruler like this. The mannequin's shoulder is around 14 inches, but with this tutorial we're working with 18.5 inches. Let's go with 19 inches. That is 9.5 here. Our normal shoulder would have been here, and then we would have slanted. For our normal shoulder, we would have slanted 1 inch down here and slanted, but that's not the style we'll be working for this tutorial. Then this is our new shoulder line. I'll go with a straight ruler. I will straight downwards. I'll mark the depth of the sweetheart neckline. On my mannequin, that point is 7 inches from the shoulder line. That's 7 inches here. Then I'll also determine at the side what length I'm working with. From this 7 inches, I'll just go down around 2 inches, which is 9 inches, or you can go with 10 inches. I work with 9.5 inches actually. So from this point, you would connect. From this point, the depth of your arm, you connect to your sweetheart neckline in this shape. So I'm going to eyeball it a bit. So it's going to be like this, and then somewhat like this. So this is the shape we'll be working with, and then from this point we'll go up our 1 inch from this point here. This is 1 inch and mark, and then we'll connect it like this to the neckline in this shape. From this point now, we'll connect from here to here. We will not work with this straight line because it was somewhat curved. So it's going to be slightly curved. So it's going to be slightly curved like this, slightly curved like this, right, and here like this. And this is it for the front. This is the center front, this is the side front. So we'll just go ahead and cut it out and use it to cut our back pattern. I've gone ahead to cut the front pattern like this, and this is it when we open it. This is how it's going to be. So I'll place it back on fold and use it to cut the back pattern. For the back pattern now, you will do same thing. The only difference is with the neckline, so, and the zip allowance, or the button allowance, or the hook allowance, or anything you, if you're working with a zip, you put a zipper allowance of around 1/2 or 1 inch. So I'm just going to trace this out. You place your fabric on fold, but I'm working with just one piece for the back for the sake of the tutorial. Actually place your fabric on fold. So from this point I come down 1 inch or 1.5 inch. We're working with 1 inch, and then you connect to the neck width. And then you trace all this part as well. On this back pattern, I decided to come down this pointy edge at the center back by 1/4 inch, by 3/4 inch, and then connect to this point. So, aside from that, every other thing is going to be the same. I've cut the back pattern now. This is my zipper allowance, or the allowance you can use to turn your fabric. This is center back, this is side back. So what I'll be doing is to join it at the shoulder, taking my fabric. Now remember, you cut the back as well in 2 pieces. You join these 2 together and do the same for this point. I've joined the shoulder, I've joined the side. this is the allowance at the center back, which you'll use to turn the fabric when you join the shoulder and the sides and this part. You're going to turn all these parts like this, and all this side like this, and you can take it out on this side of your fabric. And then you can use here as your zipper allowance if you're going to use a zipper, and you can use here as your button allowance, your hook allowance, whatever you decide to, any fastener you decide to use for this tutorial. Remember, I came down like quarter of an inch from this point. The reason I did that was so that when you're done with the two pieces, you will just clip them together and just have something to attach to the center back of your main dress. With that being said, this is how it looks like on my mannequin. As you can see, this is the shoulder part. This is how it looks. The reason I used 7 inches for this center depth, the neck depth, was because it was my mannequin. For a human being, you can check, you can go down 8 inches, but just know that this is how it should look like overall. And then for the back piece, this is how it looks like. Now for the back piece, at this point you can choose to attach it to your fabric with a hook or a button, whatever works for you, you do that. Remember to curve this area like I did in the tutorial, and yeah, you should get similar results with proper interfacing as well. If you got to the end of this video, thank you for sticking around, and if you'd like to see the sewing tutorial of this video, kindly say so in the comment section so I would go ahead to film a cutting and sewing video for you. And also please share this video to other people who may be interested in this kind of stuff. Thank you, and see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.